All right, well, let's talk power rankings then. Let's update those for week 2. We do have those will be up on Twitter. I know we missed it last week.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. We're not gonna place blame anywhere. Just leave it at it didn't happen last week. We'll be better. We'll get it up this week. Full power rankings all the way from 1 to 32. But we will talk top 10 right now. Let's go 10 on down, and then we can
go to 10 down.
Well, 10 to 1.
I guess you know what's throwing me off.
Because you have it.
Might go 10 up.
Yeah.
On the paper.
Sorry, we'll go 10 up.
No. It's fine. I don't stop saying.
We will go for the top 10, and we'll discuss that.
Starting at 10.
And we will then head on to game picks and wrap up this show. Starting at 10, who do you have at 10?
Wanted to take them out of the top 10, but I
took them right on out.
I already knew who you were talking about. But it's Green Bay, the Packers.
You're giving them too much credit.
I mean, I kind of gave them the NCAA bump where I'm not gonna knock them out of the top 10, but I'm gonna put you at 10. Like it was big enough that you should be. You definitely.
You didn't score a damn touchdown against New Orleans. You didn't deserve to be in the top 10.
Unfortunately, there was so many other games of teams that offset it to the point which kept them afloat to a degree.
I had to force myself to push them out of the top 10 to get that.
This was the weirdest rankings ever because I'm like what is it, 6 of the top 10 loss? Like what the hell? Like damn, people really are supposed to get a whole new top 10? Like come on, this is not being responsible, NFL. But moving on, well, I got the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, they had such a bad game. I don't even have. They're to granted.
And trending down. I needed to say that.
I pushed them a little bit further. I pushed them down to 11. And so they're not in my top 10. My number 10 is Arizona, moving up 3 spots from last week. So Arizona to me, they played just such a fantastic game. That was so dominant. Like there's no way that when I was looking at it, I had Green Bay and Arizona at this point, and there's no way that after that performance from Arizona and that performance from Green Bay,
Arizona at 10,
I know.
Ooh, man, I love that team, but good Lord, I didn't put them there.
They're that good.
I mean, I ain't put them that far away, but I just go ahead. I'm not knocking it. I'm just that's a shake.
I think they deserve to be in the top 10 from that performance. That, like I said, they are the Phoenix of the NFL. They are so well rounded. They have guys everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They've got maybe a couple of holes on defense, but outside of that, they've got playmakers on in every phase of the game. To me, they did from that performance on Sunday. They deserved it, so I put them there.
I'm not disputing it. I'm shocked. That's a little shocking. Okay,
who you got at 9?
Holding on for dear life, the San Francisco 49ers here, and I'm saying holding on because nutrition is going to be an issue with this team, and I don't know. I'm not. I mean, it's not trending right for them. Health-wise. With that being said, I mean, there's going to be some more of the same. And, like, they keep losing players. I mean, they're not going to stay in the top 10.
That's fair. And I get that. That's a fair statement to make there.
Mm-hmm.
I have Seattle there at 9. I like the way that they played. I think they deserve to be in the top 10 from sitting at 11 last week for me.
The fact that you didn't have them in the top 10 in the beginning, I have an issue with that with you.
I clearly explained why I didn't have them in the top 10, and you told me I had a fair point.
Fair, but I'm still don't mean I obviously didn't go with that.
You had them at 10. I had 1 spot lower.
I did not. Oh, I did.
Yes, you did
in the preseason. Oh, but we updated it. I updated it from that. I'm sorry. We're going from the preseason ranking. But okay, go ahead.
So they played very well. I thought they deserved to be in, and I put them in there. So
they should be in there,
right there at 9. I mean, Arizona is on their tails. Like honestly, like Arizona could overtake them very soon if they continue to play the way that they have. Right. I'm just gonna preface you with this: I have all of the NFC West in the top 10.
Wow. Okay. Keep it moving.
Sorry, who did you have at 9?
At 9, San Francisco. That's
oh, yeah, 1. You said San Francisco. Gotcha. All right, 8, who do you got there?
Oh, falling. Buffalo. I'm
You
sorry.
dropped him pretty far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because that was freaking embarrassing. With that,
No, I get
I
you.
understand it's Pittsburgh, and I get all that. Pittsburgh was not slated to do anything, and you all was supposed to make sure that was supposed to hold serve.
Yeah.
And they went out there and threw out a stinker. Now, if they were in Pittsburgh, I would have gave them the benefit of the doubt. Wouldn't even severely punish them. But you at home, and everybody. I mean, you got the whole ESPN nation behind you and endorsing you all and got the public opinion but backing you and everything everything is working. It's set up for you to be successful.
Yeah.
And you come out here and then you let Pittsburgh just do what Pittsburgh does when they're usually actually good. They're not even a good team.
Yeah. I agree. I dropped Buffalo, and we'll get to them in a minute for me. But I definitely I didn't drop them as far as you did.
It's kind of like the Green Bay.
We
thing.
both had them at 3.
I know
didn't
that
we?
the Green Bay play worse, but with that, I mean, but yeah, it's just like I'm sorry, dude. Y'all, just from a power ranking standpoint, it can move right back up.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, I wanted to really show that I want to be consistent. And you lose certain type of games, not that you lost, but a certain particular game. I am not going to let you off the hook for that. That's just I'm not.
Totally fair.
So with that being said, they had no business losing this game and losing in the way that they lost. They lost. They used as we said earlier, they look so flat, and they just. Who the hell was that team on Sunday?
I'll get to it in a minute, but I chopped it up to week 1, and we'll talk more about that in a minute here. My number 8 team is the LA Chargers. I know that they played a gritty game, but I this is something I wasn't able to talk about because we didn't have them in our slate of recap games.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just give myself a pat on the back really quick here. Rashawn Slater, best tackle in the game. He shut down Chase Young in this game. Absolutely manhandled him, and on top of that, he had 49 plays where they were trying to put pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He did not give up a QB hit. He did not give up a QB pressure. He did not give up a QB sack. This dude is the real deal. He is LA Chargers. Round of applause for the pick. And you guys got the best tackle in the game in the draft.
Still saying it over Penei Sewell, huh?
Only because Penei Sewell is playing on a. I know he's got a horrible.
You seen what Superman did with one arm? Come on, man. Come on. He held half the defensive line down.
I'm not saying he's that
arm.
far behind. I'm saying Rashawn Slater.
Okay.
I told you Rashawn Slater to me was the most talented offensive tackle in the game.
Shazam, got it.
And then you got. I will say that was played by Rashawn Slater where he blocked 2 guys with one arm on the play. I was like, I can't.
That was a
compete
third
with
guy
that.
coming though. That's what I'm saying. It was really 3
because he chucked him and then he was going to go and take on the third.
Come on, you still want to throw that Rashawn Slater? I get it. I ain't knocking him.
Rashawn Slater shut down Chase Young the full game. Come on, Chase Young.
We're not. I'm not. This is a stupid argument. But so, but yeah. Okay, 1A, 1B. Let's go.
And now Rashawn Slater's 1A. Let's talk number 7.
He's 1A behind Sewell's 1A. So
no,
1AB.
Let's talk number 7. Or sorry, who did?
Number 7, I have the Chargers.
Okay. Oh, sorry, did you go with your 8?
8 was Buffalo.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know why they keep doing that.
Don't worry about it.
So your 7 is the Chargers. Okay.
Which they brought him up quite a bit. Got him in the top 10, but I got him a little higher. So I mean, I was, and a lot of that is because a lot of top dogs failed, and they came out and they took care of their business, and they did what they were supposed to do, and they won.
Well, at 7 is where I have one of the top dogs did fall, and that's Baltimore.
Ooh, I can see that.
I just to me the way Baltimore played in that game, they came out pretty solid, and then it just got worse and worse, and then the fumbling started to happen, and the turnovers is what really got me with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I still have Buffalo above them, and why I kind of chopped up the Buffalo loss to just coming out flat week 1. I'm chopping it up to being a week 1 game is because they did not really turn the ball over too much outside of obviously the block kick, but that's a special teams gaff, and that happens. So
you drop Baltimore further?
Yeah.
Because based on what? They went on the road, played much better, and I mean, basically almost stole the game, should have overall. But Okay, came up short.
I understand that, but the
And
ball
put up
security
30.
issues is going to be something that they really need to clean up, because that is going to kill them even more against other teams that they will face later on this season.
We're talking about week 2
Yeah.
power rankings, not
Based off
downward.
of what I saw week 1 to adjust my week 2 power rankings, that's what I saw. And looking forward, I'm not suspecting. Obviously, this is a very fluid top 10, so they could definitely move right back up
That's
if they
true.
clean up those things. But
I mean,
those
with
things
that
are
caveat, of course. I'm just. Hey, we're trying to make this interesting for the listeners. Okay.
obviously.
All right.
So I feel like this. They deserve to be dropped further than Buffalo. I mean, also because I had Buffalo higher anyway. They both lost, but
Right.
I'm not saying Baltimore's was more embarrassing. It's just I feel like they clearly should be dropped based off of that, and dropped definitely out of the top 5.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree because I got them at 6.
Yeah. We got Baltimore at 6. Okay, I got San Francisco at 6. I moved them up a little bit further. I know, like you're saying, the injuries, but they played without Mostert anyway. I know they've got a couple of other ones that happened in the game.
These are some of these anomalies.
Yeah, but I still think that San Francisco, even with the guys that they've lost, they're still going to be just fine. And I'm not expecting them to have the same amount of guys go down that they did last year. So they've got a couple of guys that are questionable that I'm expecting to return in the next couple of weeks. They're not all season ending injuries. Plus, I mean, they were able to do what they just did to Detroit. Again, granted, it's Detroit, but they did that without Raheem Mostert. So right. I like the way that they played. They definitely need to clean up the fourth quarter gaffes, but outside of that, small tweaks here and there, they'll be just fine. And I like the way that they played. They deserve it. They deserve to continue to move up in the rankings to me.
Okay. I'm not gonna dispute that much. I mean, I didn't have them as that high in the first place.
Yeah.
But even with that, I moved them up a spot because it's just so many teams at the top lost. And like they did win, they just didn't close the game out the way they're supposed to. And I didn't want to penalize them too much for that. But but the point being is, come on, man, it's freaking Detroit. Now it's my power rankings. I gotta look. I'm not gonna ignore that. Like you never let a team like this come back and try to make a game of this when the game was clearly in y'all hands. So
I guess I gave them the credit of, yes, you took your foot off the gas. You shouldn't have done that, but you won the game anyway, and so I guess I didn't really look into it too much because I do think not Cliff Kingsbury, Mike Shanahan is going, or Kyle Shanahan rather, is going to kind of. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to get after them for that, and they're going to clean that up this week in practice. So, oh yeah. Let's talk top 5. I got Buffalo at 5. I dropped him 2 spots. I know I had him at 3. I know you. Again, I'm chopping it up to week 1. I think we're gonna see.
I'm not even down on Buffalo. I'm down on these naysayers.
Yeah.
Not even the naysayers. These NFL groupies who just want the next little shiny bell and whistle and
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Bandwagon
for all of
nonsense.
the hype that they got for them to come out the way that they did. That's 100% on them, and I agree with you. But to me, I think we're gonna
on Monday. They didn't even want to talk about it. They didn't even,
they're mainly talking about Kansas City in that Cleveland game.
They never had they were talking to, oh my God.
I got you. Look.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm sorry. You got
but to me, I think we're going to see a completely different Buffalo team this next week.
I believe so.
So I'm not putting too much stock in that game. I did move up Pittsburgh quite a bit deeper in the rankings.
Why I ain't knock it, because it is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like if it's anybody, I'm like, I'm not freaking surprised. But
Mike Tomlin's going to get you every now and again.
Every time you count them out, this is when they show up. Like,
yep.
Okay, then when I go, you put all in on them, then boy, you're going to lose that money.
Yeah. Who you got at 5?
Seattle.
All right.
Russ was cooking, and he looked good, and I balanced attack that offense just looked good. I mean, Chris Carson, a healthy Chris Carson. I
I
mean,
told you.
healthy dose of that guy. And I mean, he puts up the good numbers and he walks away from the game healthy.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh
I am
my
praying for him to
goodness.
stay
Two
healthy.
things that did not happen last year at all. There's just, you could not put it in the same sentence,
Agreed.
let alone the same game. And it all happened in week 1. So for one game, this is what Seattle was searching for all last year. That the game they just put in, and they beat a very respectable franchise.
Yeah.
Hell, I could have put him in the top 3 just on that alone, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
I put them in the top 5. They're at 5. I think that was kind of my
okay.
pick. Like, wow, they really moved the needle on that one. Well, hell, considering what happened with their peers around them, that was hella impressive what they did.
Yeah, no, it was. Who do you have at 4?
The LA Rams. So I pushed them up quite a bit there, a few 4 spots. But I mean, they took care of business. They beat a very legitimate playoff contending team. Because let everyone else tell the story. It's just, they beat Chicago.
Yeah.
It can't even say nothing behind it. Just say the name and that's it. Like,
I know.
What is the connotation of that? Like, most disrespected playoff team in the history, in modern history right now. Like, they just nobody's going to give Chicago their flowers. I'm not talking about Chicago, but the Rams played Chicago, which is why I'm making a mention. So to anybody who's listening, they're going to try and turn their ears off. I'm not going into that. But the Rams, they won the game they were supposed to win. A very competitive game. I thought obviously you've seen it. It was barring a few big mishaps here and there. It was
besides the 2 plays that Chicago really messed up, that was a 1-possession game.
Could have been. Yes, definitely. And we're talking about monumentally huge plays, huge mistakes. Like, come on, man, this is not freaking.
Those are mistakes that I'm not going again. We're not getting into Chicago, but those are mistakes that I don't think even Chicago will continue to make moving forward.
No, but just impressive.
But the Rams exploited it, and they took care of business.
Exactly, and put on a good offensive. They took advantage of it. They put held home field. Defense, looked good. Offense looked great. Just can kind of control the tempo of the game. Because Chicago very competitive. In his by his own right. But at the end of the day, they was able to hold on, and walk out of there with the victory. We already, a lot of teams are, and people are pushing for them to be a strong playoff contender, if not in some cases a Super Bowl possible contender. And
they're my Super Bowl pick for the NFC.
Right, and and for the other group, which is the group I fall in, I have to wait and see what this Matthew Stafford thing really is. It's a fly. I almost got him.
I know. I've been trying to.
I actually hit him, and he still came back. So I didn't hit him hard enough. Moving on, but I was impressed enough to say, okay, it's time to move him up the needle. Like 100%. Matthew Stafford is, without a doubt,
I moved
the
him
real
up further
deal
than
with
you
this
did,
team.
So,
oh gosh, okay.
Let's talk Cleveland because that's who I have at 4. I know. That was a very impressive game. But the fact that it was a loss, it's still I need to see Cleveland in a win before I can move them into the top 3.
No way.
I've
seen enough.
And I get that, and there
for
was
various different reasons.
There was so much there in that game, but what I want to see from Cleveland is the finish. That's the thing that I need to see. But to me, everything else was so good that I could not move them down.
Unfortunately,
and I even ended up moving them up based off of the way that they played.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have that 20 years tacked on of just.
I know.
That's that a lot of things factor in. If you've seen, you'd be like, "Oh my God, you have to push them up." I mean, just on that alone, that's more victory.
But I'm just looking at it as I want to see the finish out of them. That's it.
Gotcha.
But the next team I have at 3 is the LA Rams. I know who you have at 2. At 3. So that's going to be an interesting talk. But for the Rams, everything that you said, I agree with. The Rams were very impressive. They beat a very stout team. Defensively, they mitigated, or offensively, they mitigated the Chicago pass rush, which was, that's hard to do. And they exploited the defensive back situation for sure. So that was all they needed to do there. I want to see some more of their defensive consistency, and also for them to take care of getting some more pressure out of Aaron Donald, because you think he only had 1 sack. But that's neither here nor there. They as a complete team, they've got it, and like I said, that is a team that I am subscribing to be
they're the real deal. You know how you could put pieces together and on paper, it looks great, and then they get out there, you'd be like, what the hell?
No, this team is good on paper and they are fantastic on the field.
Yeah, the only conflict was like, why the freaking they had to play Chicago first? Like, like it's always at the expense of anyway.
Yeah.
But I digress.
But I mean, I moved them up 5 spots. I had them at 8. I moved them all the way up to 3. Like,
I mean, I moved them up to I moved them up 3.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line, they got a significant boost.
Yeah.
Either way, and I ain't gonna eat your lunch on that, because I mean, hell, you've seen my power rankings. I have some 5 moves here, 5 moves. I got quite a few of those sporadically out throughout the 32. So
for sure, and I do the same. So I mean, I even got a team drop down 6 spots. So you guys can check that out on Twitter. But let's talk about your top 3, because I know exactly who you have here, and this is about to be a shakeup of all shakeups.
Oh, bring all the smoke, people. Bring all the smoke. At number 3.
So, before you say it, you sent me your power rankings earlier today for me to make the graphics for Twitter. I looked at this, and the only thing that I could send back to you was interesting. And this was this exact one, that number 3. This is the reason why I sent interesting.
Yeah, because you know what? Okay, at 3, bring the smoke, people. Y'all's champion, Tampa Bay. How in the world? I know Twitter is on fire right now. It's going to be on fire when you do upload this. Let me explain something. Did y'all watch the same game I watched? Because when I watched this, I watched a hungover championship team that has just been in celebratory mode way too long. Yeah, they brought everybody back. It's just everything's just going their way. Everything. Team Tampa, Tampa Tom. All. I mean, come on, got Gronk. I mean, we're bringing OJ Howard back. We're gonna even add Giovanni Bernard. We just adding pieces on top of pieces. We got Scotty Miller sitting on ice, just waiting for the second half of the season, just in case one of these dudes break down, and we got this speedster out there waiting on, Tyreek Hill 0.5.
Don't do that. He is not. I will say this, Scotty Miller, you can miss me with all this. You're faster than Tyreek Hill talk.
That's my point.
Get out of here.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, it's just and that's my point. Feeling yourself in the Super Bowl, that nonsense. And okay, we went on record about Dallas's defense.
Yeah.
And I'm not going into the game too much, but there's no damn way they were supposed to even be in this game, let alone you let them take the lead late. Miss me. You don't even hit ball to 2. Get out of here, man. Paper, you're not repeating. I know for a fact you're not repeating. As a matter of fact, I should have put the Rams over them. But I digress. I'm just gonna they're gonna do it to themselves, so I'm not even worried about it.
That's why I mean, like you said, they're gonna do it to themselves, and once they do it, that's when I'll move them. I left them at 2.
I told you after when the season started, all bets were off.
I knew it.
I told you.
I was expecting it, but after that game, because the game was so good on both sides, though. You have to admit that.
No. And notice all I've been talking about has been their defense.
Yeah.
I am so what?
But it's also week 1, and so that's why they got the win, and that is why I left.
Why does it supposed to matter? You're the defending champions.
I
that won a handicap. Let's be real. I know nobody wants to admit that.
No, I know nobody wants.
Nobody wants to admit that. We keep saying it. Everybody says it, but nobody wants to acknowledge it.
I have them at 2, and I've had them at 2 this entire time. I have never moved them from 2.
They should be moved now. But I'm moving on.
I
mean, I get that.
I'm waiting for their loss because they're going to lose. They are going to lose games this year.
I understand, but for all that has happened to them,
bad win, because even with that, because this game was good.
from all of, I think, I think it does qualify as a bad win to a degree, for different type of reasons, but it's some intangibles I'm just not going to ignore, and I'm holding a lot of weight to that. You cannot allow a team that has no business being able to hang with you. You're at home. It's ring ceremony night. Everything has been given to you. You bring back the exact same team from a championship team.
Yeah.
That is unheard of. I mean,
But so here's the only thing that I will say to that, and I get it, and it shouldn't happen, and you should be more prepared. But this happens with every team that wins the Super Bowl. That first game, they always comes out flat. But the thing is that Tampa, to me, didn't come out flat. You're looking at a team with an offense that is that high powered. Dallas's offense, I'm not gonna lie.
I understand
Dallas's offense is that good. But I agree with you. Tampa's defense needs to step up, and they need to make stops.
But that's part of what the issue was last year, where everybody slept on Tampa Bay's defense.
And I get
and
that.
Now all of a sudden everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid for all the wrong reasons.
You're taking it, but
I'm taking it exactly the way no one else has not. Y'all have all mismanaged Tampa Bay from the start.
And I get that, but I haven't.
Okay.
So that's why I leave them where they are, because from where they sit in. But I also, looking at your power rankings, and we'll get to your two in a minute.
That's fine.
I agree with you. To me, they look like a better team. The only thing is that team lost, this team won.
I understand it.
And so that's that's where I'm leaving it, because
this one qualified for moral victories and moral losses. So that was a moral loss.
But I understand. I understand that. But to me, also, they have those injuries in the secondary, and
this is my thing.
But I think their offense is that good that because it's not at the same clip as what Dallas is. Dallas is such a high-powered offense, arguably a top 5 offense, where their defense is arguably a bottom 5 defense for what we thought. Obviously, not the case anymore.
And that's my thing. And that's where the rubber meets the road for me. So high-powered offense from Dallas. Absolutely, could agree with you 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Explain this to me now. Now I'm finna move over to the offensive side of the ball. You only scored 33 points.
31.
31. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the other game.
Yeah.
You only scored 31 points. That's all you was able to muster up with this sad, pitiful, makeshift defense that they put out there.
But
that's
you also have to admit that defense played much better than we thought that they were going to.
I understand that.
So that because that's the difference. I definitely I'm giving a lot of credit to Dallas, because
I'm seeing a lot of cracks in the armor here on both sides of the ball,
which is fine. But those cracks in the armor have not led to a loss yet, and so but it will. And once it does, that's where the LA's and your number 2 Cleveland is going to come into play.
I got that. And thank you. And I got Cleveland at 2, so a good segue. So just stop me from talking about that. So now I got Cleveland in the loss. Yes, and I was more impressed in Cleveland's loss than I was in Tampa Bay's win.
And I agree with you with that one. I'm not saying I don't agree that Cleveland should be above them yet, but I do think, because like I said, because it was the same thing with Cleveland. Is just, I need to see you win. I need to see how you win, how you go about getting that first one.
Their first half, to me, was so freaking impressive.
Yeah,
agreed. I understand we could do that. Well, it was just a tale of two. Stop that. You seen what first half was about as good as anybody can play a first half against any damn team.
I mean, that first half was to me much better than what Houston did to Kansas City in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
The way, because the
100%.
way that they got out to that lead, the way Kansas City, even Kansas City's offense was looking, they were coming out like, oh, how the hell are we going to, it looked like Patrick Mahomes was looking like, how the hell are we going to mount this for a second? Right. And obviously they hunker down and they do their thing, because that's what Kansas City does. And I'm not saying that Kansas City it was scared of anything and they were about to shy away. No, they were going to come out and they were going to play a complete game like they did and win it. But for a second there, you could tell that they were lost. They were like, okay, what do we do? How do we get back into this game? They had questions for a second, and they looked human for a good portion to 2 quarters. which they, even when they are in a loss, or they are losing, and most times they still look like, okay, well, obviously this team is going to come back. No, it looked like Cleveland had them dead to rights for a second. Obviously wasn't the case. Tyreek Hill turns it on in the second half. Patrick Mahomes gets Travis Kelce involved in the second half, and that's rightfully so. So, but I agree with you. The way that Cleveland looked in the first half was that is the most human I've seen Kansas City, and I did not expect it to come at the hands of them.
No, and no, and I mean, I'm not gonna knock your take.
Okay.
I mean, it's what it's call it sentimental, call it my inside track with Kansas City, call it just from an aspect of sheer competition and what I seen in that Cleveland Kansas City game. That showed me enough to really move them up. Like, and now going again, part of that is tack on an extra 20 more years of just nonsense in this franchise.
Yeah,
and I couldn't have been more impressed than somebody in the loss than what I seen. I mean, I'm glad they lost. That was such a conflicting game. I mean, God, on so many fronts, fantasy wise, fan wise, fandom wise.
Yeah.
It was just it.
And I also
don't
couldn't
need
be
these two
more
teams to
impressed by
play each
Kansas
other.
City to respond the way that they did.
Yes, and
And that's why they're still at one for me.
and that's what I was getting at. That they are back at that championship.
Oh yeah.
That championship pedigree. Offensive line is intact too. It's just like oh my God. So of course at number one.
Yeah.
And it's just
We would just leave it at that. Kansas City's number one. We know why.
we don't have to go. Yeah, because I mean, look, we're gonna be talking about Kansas City all year anyway. I don't want to even sound like we beating a dead horse, but as I told you, who I got at 1 and 2, I feel is gonna be at 1 and 2 at the end of the year. In the AFC.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me preface that. Jury's still out with me on the NFC, which is making this season so freaking exciting for me because I'm like, I can't choose because and feel comfortable and confident in. I have pick one. Good luck.
AFC is stacked. NFC is a coin toss right now, so it's going to be interesting, and we're going to keep track of it throughout the entire year. So we'll leave it at that. And I mean, those are the power rankings. Again, if you guys want to see the full power rankings, you can go check that out on Twitter at @the_square_pod.
Please bring the smoke. I mean, please comment on these power rankings. I mean, please. I mean, give us y'all ideas. I mean, give us y'all takes. Man, tell me I'm wrong about something, and I'm fine with that. I mean, and tell me why though. Don't just tell me, man, you're an idiot. No. Explain why I'm the idiot. And why you're the genius. I just need to know. And I'll and that's But Kansas City finally back at where they need to go on at number 1. Impressive victory.
Agreed.